friend of a friend, we were able to track down a couple that has lived next to two of the seven gates of hell for over 30 years. They agreed to share their experiences with us and how it has affected their lives throughout the years.
What do you consider the gate?
The two closest ones are the ones that are just down the hill here.
Those are the viaducts.
Yeah.
But that's not where the satanic stuff occurs.
Really?
You go through the two viaducts, and then there's a farm gate.
That gate on the left there, yeah, I've heard some stuff about that.
That's where the satanic rituals that I observed. I don't know, you weren't with me when I saw those, were you, that time? Those guys in their red robes that were, I guess they were guys.
No, but I've seen a lot more stuff than that.
All the legend, or all the versions of the myth that we hear, it's all about driving through all these railroad trestles.
I guess it was between 82 and 85. I had gone down to the mall. I was going to get the kids some clothes. And then when you're coming back from the east going to the west, as you come around the curve, you don't see that gate until you're almost there.
Yeah, that's what we've heard about.
So it was the evening, and there were at least three, and there might have been four, but they had like the monk's robes with the hoods on, but they were red, like Valentine's red, and they had the white cords around their waist. And one guy jumped out in front of my car, and that really scared me. But they had an upside down cross that was burning, and the next day we went down to see it, and they had like this stuff woven in it. And so we asked our pastor, and he said, well, they weave garlic in it because that has something to do with some satanic ritual.
Well, and then another time when I went down the farm, and we still had the wooden gates, they had, it must probably garlic. Now, I didn't know it at the time, but they had garlic, shape of an upside down cross, tacked onto the wooden gate.
And the only other real experience, I mean, other than like kids coming down and having their drunken parties and making out,
Vandalism.
we had goats, and we also had white geese, the Chinese geese that had the blue eyes with the knob, and they were really pretty. We had about four or five of them. And it was, and we had one little goat, her name was April, and so we had a goat pen, but inside that we had another pen, because we just had Dr. Spencer had deharned her, and so he told us don't separate her from the herd, but keep her so they can't butt her, so their horns, that breaks open more. So our kids were little, and so we thought, well, it was Halloween, and we were going to go take the kids to his mom and dad that just lived up in the farmhouse up from us about a quarter mile, and then our friend Sue and Ed Sylvia lived just off along the road, and then we went into Troy to my mom and dad's. And I know we were gone maybe a couple hours.
Yeah.
And so then the next morning I got up because I had to milk my goats. And I went out there, and little April, she was just as skittish as could be. And there was a spot, I don't know about that big, it was shaped around there. It looks like, when you get those TB tests, how they're like those prick things, those pricky needles. That was all like little needle marks in her, and her tongue was like almost purple. And then I went out to do the geese, to feed the geese, and
they were sitting there.
They were just laying there.
No, they were sitting there.
Well, they were
Looked
dead.
like,
They looked like,
know
they were sitting there, and then I thought, well, why aren't they getting up? Because they always would chase you. And when I went to pick them up, they were just light, and they were bled to death. They had been bled.
There was no blood.
There was no blood on them, nothing. And so we called Doc Spencer, and I took our goat in, and he said, well, she's been bled. So we called the sheriff, and then this sheriff came out, and he said, I reported what happened, and he said, well, there are 7 covens that are coveys, or whatever you call them, that are operating in the area, and and he said there's like warlocks and witches and all that, and he said they need that blood for some ritual they do on Halloween, because then the next day is All Saints Day. So that is true story, because they came, and I guess because our goat was penned up, they could catch her. And the other goats they could have caught too, but I guess she was the easiest one because she was in that pen inside the big pen. And then the geese, how they got them, I don't know, because typically geese run away, right? But they did. I mean, they were all bled. So those are the 2 experiences that we've had personally. I had the one with the guys with the red robes, and then we both experienced the geese and our goats. The kids
Matter of fact, when the kids were still in school, Randy was senior, I guess, and we had a van, and I'd been farming down here and brought the equipment home, and It was in the fall. I
Yeah,
guess.
because we were gonna take the kids to get ice cream,
Yeah.
so we all went.
So I said, well, I left my toolbox down there by the tractor, so I said, we better go down there and get that. So we went down the hill, went into the first viaduct, and when we came through the second one, there was 15 cars parked there. And they wouldn't
Let us in the gate.
let us in, and
And
we had
they
to plead
jumped
with
in the
them,
van.
and finally, one of them, he'd said some pretty bad things to my wife and the kids, and so, one guy came over and I said, that guy owes us an apology, and he came over and crawled in the van.
And our son got a tire tool
And
out.
my son, had he went another step farther, my son would have,
Hit him with the tire tool. You know, if they would have just gone down there and drank, you wouldn't have cared, but you couldn't.
but when you go to
When you
homes and
go
try
to
to,
homes, and when you're trying to go on a public road and you can't go,
and,
or go back up into your field to do what you have to
and
do
then
for farming.
There's been like stories about, I don't know, how long have you guys lived here?
Well, I've lived here 30 years. He's lived here his whole life.
All right. Well, we've heard stories about the gates being a spot for KKK lynchings.
no.
Never heard anything about that. That's been one of the myths.
But you know that bridge that went, there was a viaduct that went, not where the gates are, but there was a viaduct that went across the railroad track going,
You mean
let's
down
see,
here?
yeah,
The
north,
trestle.
north to south.
The one that's not there anymore.
The one
Right,
that's not
yeah,
there.
yeah,
Now,
that's that on
what we
the
can
yeah.
tell you about that is that when our kids were little, the kids that would hang around down at the gates, they used to go up on that trestle because you could climb up on it.
Yeah.
And the railroad track goes right under it. So one night, and I guess this was around Halloween too, remember? They hung that big
They
block
hung,
of concrete
they hung a block of concrete
from
down,
the
and
viaduct.
it was at the same level
From the
as the
trestle.
window on the engine.
And what they were hoping for was that,
And someone happened to be coming through there, and it was dark.
Yeah, it
And
was
why
dark.
they saw that, I don't know, but they saw it, and they notified the railroad, and there was a fast train coming through, and had they not notified it,
It would've-
15 minutes later,
it would have
would've
killed the driver and
killed-
it had a
killed the
derailment.
engineer.
And so after that, then the railroad took that bridge down,
Uh-huh.
that trestle down. But that's the only thing we know. I mean, that has nothing about KKK, but that literally happened, and these kids were gonna try to derail a train and they
Or,
or whatever, or kill the engineer. I mean,
Yeah.
why, I have no idea, but they would have killed the engineer with the way that block was. I guess that what I heard about the gates is someone told me if you go through all 7 gates backwards, then the devil appears.
yeah, but I don't know
mean,
where
you
the 7 gates are.
I don't either. We don't know
I
where
understand
else
there's
to-
one down by the ketchup factory, that's what I was told.
So basically, from your guys' experience, just living right next to them, it hasn't been so much the driving through all 7 and then you guys, I guess, get whisked away to hell. It's just been this. What'd you say it was down by these two right here? This little
Yeah,
this little gate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
that's
gate that
just-
goes up to a
uh-huh.
farm.
Yeah,
Now,
it's
Muni owns it, and it's a.
And it's still
it's
gates,
not-
but over the years, matter of fact, the neighbors donated a iron gate. We put that up, and within 2 weeks,
They pulled it down.
they pulled it till they
Yeah.
bent all out of shape. And
So it's pretty regular.
Yeah, now it's, hopefully it's subsided. Well, good luck with your project.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
yeah,
Hope you got enough information.
Oh,
We
yeah.
talked enough, so you gotta have something.
This is it. This is what they're talking about with all the stuff going on. It's amazing anybody got through that protection. Calling Joe Muni. He's the owner of that property by the gates. Hello.
Hello. Did you just?
Yeah. Is this Mr. Muni?
Yeah.
Hi. My name's Nick Rolla. I'm a family friend of Jeanette Gendler and her husband, and I was wondering. They told us that we could contact you, and you were the owner of the property that's located on right off Lebanon Road, Longy Road, there.
Yeah.
I'm actually doing a school project for McKendree University, and we were wondering if it would be all right if we took a look around the property there, because we're the project is about the Seven Gates of Hell, and we've heard some stories about that property there.
Yeah, that's fine. When are you gonna do it? Like tomorrow or?
Actually, yeah, today or tomorrow, anytime's fine.
Okay, that's fine.
That's fine. All right. And does anybody live up there right now?
No.
All right. So we can just go ahead and walk on there.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Well, thank you very much, sir.
Okay, no
Hey,
problem.
bye.
Bye.
That wasn't the response I was expecting.
No. So
Put your hiking boots on.
you guys go up there. I'll stay down here. No! No, no, no!
Oh my god. Get over here. Oh, it scared me so bad.
What? Oh, well, shh.
Yeah. You get this?
Yes.
Dude, I've driven through this gate like hundreds of times and I've never noticed that.
What the fuck is that?
What?
Ton of hair.
Okay, that's creepy, dude. Alright, I kinda wanna okay, good, we're at the road now. But yeah.
I can't tell what that is.
I can tell that that's a skull. And a lot of hair and
Oh my god. More hair.
that's another skeleton, isn't it?
Spine. Something. Can't tell what it is.
No.